Good morning and welcome to day 3 of the live challenge. This is the last day of this live challenge, but if you have enjoyed this, let me know and I will do another one soon. So as we get warmed up, I just want to remind everyone that we have until the 30th at midnight to get coupon code Happy Birthday for 20% off the flight deck. Here are a couple more images from the deck. And there's a QR code here in the corner that you just scan and it takes you right to a tutorial for these moves. We have back balance. So there's moves beginner all the way up through advanced. Double ankle hang, angel, stellar split. So some of my favorites are in here. Some of these are on the YouTube channel, but there's also new moves that I've never posted on there before. There's 3 different entrances into ballet that all lead to slightly different places. So it's really a wonderful training tool and I'm so excited about it. I have had some people from the UK and Europe reach out about it, and I'm not doing international shipping yet, only because it's so new and I'm just getting going with US shipping. But I will figure that out really soon, and then I will make it available to all of the international aerialists as well. So thank you so much for everyone who has expressed interest in it. I'm so grateful. It's been, 10 years of aerial experience in the making and over 8 months of production time. So it's definitely been a project from the heart, and I'm just so excited to bring it out into the world. So how's everyone feeling today? How are your shoulders, your core? I'm feeling good. I've been really liking doing these lives. This has been super fun, and I definitely think I want to make this a more regular thing. So if you all have some suggestions, recommendations, or topics that you would like to have these lives focus around, I'd love to hear it. This was just kind of a initial, what are some of the main moves that people really like to focus on and have broken down. So inverts are a big one, hip keys are a big one, and then today we're gonna go into butterfly and twisted grip. So those are both moves that we use very frequently in aerial, and it always helps to have more cues and tips around them. Even when I teach, it's really interesting because sometimes when I have beginner students, they'll do something that isn't the way that I teach it, but they'll end up in this new cool place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, like I actually never thought to take it there or do it like that. And I love that. And so I learn so much all the time from my students. And so while proper form and technique is very important, push back through your shoulders to really feel that wall behind you. Keep the chin loose and then drag your shoulders down through the back. Pull those shoulder blades together. Oh, it feels so good. Aerial is one of the art forms that is so rapidly developing, and it's so new. There's still so much room for creativity, and there's a lot of variations in ways to do things. So I'm always in favor of learning from multiple coaches. Different coaches have learned different ways of cueing and have different insights into the moves. So every time I take a workshop or a class from somebody, I learn something new, or I learn a new way to explain a move. And so if you're starting out on your aerial journey, or if you're already you've been doing it for a long time, go to some workshops, go to a new studio, just try a couple other classes to see, if you can pick up a little nugget from a new coach. And I was self-taught for quite a while. In my early days, I learned a lot off of YouTube. Instagram, it wasn't even a thing yet. I wasn't on Instagram. So YouTube was where I did a lot of learning, but people weren't really doing tutorials. So it was a lot of just trying to break stuff down. And while I feel comfortable doing that now, because I understand how fabric works and I have more of an emphasis on safety, when I was younger and I was trying that, some of it was kind of unsafe, And so that's why I created the YouTube channel in the first place is because I'm like, this is how I learned, and if people are coming to social media to learn, because of course they will, I want them to learn safely. So that's one of my main missions for creating Aerial Esteem in the first place. So let's come up and balance. I know I'm chatty today. And then fold forward. Oh yeah. Let those hips go a little bit wide and just rock side to side. Let's just roll it up and come into some neck stretches here. So just look to the side, look to the side. So I'd love to know, how did you get interested in aerial? How did you find it? When did you take your first class? What did you see that inspired it? I have one student, she saw The Greatest Showman. And then after that, she was like, I gotta learn that. And Cirque du Soleil is a big inspiration for people. Pink. Some of the artists and performers, I think Miley Cyrus is even doing aerial these days on tour. So I'd love to know how you got interested in it and how long you've been doing it and where you like to learn. Are you taking classes? Do you learn primarily online? It's all good feedback, you know, to help me know what to focus on. So I hope you can see these. I'm going to tuck this down a little bit because let's get into our back. This is one of my favorite exercises for core and control. And if we can get to it today, I want to do a little bit of a drop walk downs. So I'm going to save some time at the end for that. So this is going to help with that. We want to feel control. So see how I'm hugged in nice and tight? I'm squeezing my legs together. And I'm going to roll back. And then come up, hit. Try not to let those feet drive you to the ground. Here we go. Then we're going to roll back, massage the spine, and up, pause. This claw is not good for this exercise. It's kind of stopping me. Roll back, hit, and up. Good. Okay, so to challenge ourselves a little bit more, we're going to go straight legs. And then dive back. Tap. Tap behind if you can, no pressure if not, and come up. And then dive back. So we want just enough momentum that it rocks us out, but not too much that we fall forward. Now this time, we'll go up, pause. So pause, then let the heels come down, forward fold. And then dive it back. Up, tap, pause, tap, down. Okay, let's come into a straddle. So similar kind of thing. We're gonna roll back and then hit. So this is a little bit more core. Well, they're both core, but this I'm focusing more on really reaching through the center. I feel this more in the sides because of this extended leg here. And back, and up. Good, awesome. Woo. Let's come into some cat-cows. So really stretch through the front of the body here, feeling all through the rib cage and the core, and then tuck, roll. Inhale, up, curl through the tailbone. Exhale. Big deep round, and two more. Inhale, big front body stretch, and exhale. And exhale. And then let's roll back into our down dog and just paddle those feet out. Good. And I kind of push back into my shoulders here on each one. I get a deeper hamstring stretch and get that nice stretch through my shoulders. And then we'll float one leg up. You can keep heel down or go up. Open, open, open. And roll it over. So big side body stretch here. Good. And then step it down. Other side. So I'm kind of just edging it open initially, not getting too high. And then I can use a little more momentum and open through the hip. back, through the side body. Excellent. And calm down. Just a little bit on our wrists because we're going to be getting into twisted grip. Now, twisted grip used to be very challenging for me when I first started silks. It was just, I do have smaller hands, and just something about that mobility wasn't quite there. When I cross-trained in pole, that's when I really got the twisted grip. So we're gonna do a couple exercises from the ground to just start to make it feel a little more comfortable. And when you're building up to it, just work on split fabrics on a single pole rather than both fabrics together. Because that way you can stabilize and balance through your free pole while you're learning how to trust that grip. Good. And then roll up on top of the hands, keep the elbows really straight, and try to make a fist here. This is a really nice counter stretch into the hands. Okay. Now, since we're going to be working butterfly, and this is an exercise I meant to show you yesterday, but I forgot. So, we're talking about our hip flexor strength here. So, one of the drills I was showing is just leg lifts from standing, holding your leg out, keeping it out to the side, all of those lifts, which is great for hip key, inverts. I mean, it goes a long way in almost everything aerial. So one of the best drills for this, and it's very common to get cramping, and sometimes you might actually want to narrow it up when you're first working it, is to do single leg lifts here. Now, what I'm not doing is leaning back, so that's really not going to work it as much. I want to stay as upright as I can and just lift that heel. Your leg will feel so heavy, and you might get cramping in your quad. So if you start to get a Charlie horse, just stop and shake it out, because you really don't want that to cramp up too much. So just, shake it out. But try to go for 5 in a row. There's also an ab activation happening here. Let's switch to the other side. 2, 4, 5. Good. And then we'll do both together. Now, if you can stay in the center without leaning back, try and stay in the center. If you need to put one hand behind you, that's okay too, for balance. And what's best is having a wall behind you, because that makes sure you stay really upright, but we don't always have access to a wall behind us. Good, good. And then just shake that out. Okay. We'll warm up our shoulders the rest of the way on the silks, and then get into our exercises. So we have a fun little climb warm up this morning. And I wonder if any of you have done this before. So first, getting into our shoulders. Make sure you're not standing on your silks. We're gonna have our hands just about eye level. Widen our stance a little bit. Stretch down into the shoulders, but keep the core engaged. Don't completely bottom out. Stay hollow body through the core. Let's take one back at a time and twist and back. So this is more waking those wrists up for the twisted grip. Behind, twist. If you need to lower your hands a little bit, that's fine. Don't over push it. Go where it feels like a stretch, but not uncomfortable. Good. Okay. And then let's do both at the same time. And then we're gonna lean out. Nice tight core. This is almost like a plank position, but with our arms behind us. And then pull back in, rotate up. Good, and push out. Fold forward, down, lean out. Hold, back, forward. I just love the flow of this one. It feels so full body. I'm getting everything. I'm getting my ankles. I'm getting my hamstrings. I'm getting my grip. Getting my core. Even my toes when I balance on them. And up. Let's just do one more. Out, drop. Relax the head. Lean out. Hold. Pull it back in. shake it out if you need to. Okay. So, we're just gonna do a couple climbs and only do this if you feel like you can do this safely. If you're not very comfortable with your climbs, or if this just feels like, oh my gosh, no way, then listen to your body. But if this feels like something that will challenge you in a fun way, then go ahead and add this little piece in. So we're going to go into closed eyes. I love to teach this in choreography clinics. And choose whatever climb you want. You can go standard here or Russian. I'm gonna do Russian just because I feel like I can relax the most in Russian. And then you're just gonna close your eyes and be very aware of your hands. Just feel the silk in your hands, feel the silk along your foot. Feel what your body feels like when it's moving through space. And this becomes very slow and thoughtful. Extend. Notice how it feels to be in a different place in the air. How the silk feels, how it feels to bring yourself close to it. How it feels to be further back. And stand and notice your hands. Be very aware of your hands. I'm like, oh wow, I'm at the top. So I'm gonna keep my eyes closed as I descend. And it's interesting to feel how that body memory just really takes over. And we become so much more thoughtful and intentional in our movement. So play around with that one. That one is a lot of fun. I'm gonna scooch my mat forward just a smidge. Okay. So we're gonna come into our twisted grip practice. We're gonna start it first just by being on the ground. So I'm gonna stand on this. So I'm gonna wrap and I'm gonna stand just like I'm in a foot lock, okay? So you want a little bit of that tension on the pole. And then I'm kind of imitating that I'm in foot locks here. And I'm gonna do a thread through. So I'm gonna bring my opposite hand as the wrapped leg to come and touch the silk. So it's on my inside wrist, closest to my thumb. Here, reach. So this is also a lot in the shoulder. But I'm coming up and I'm reaching. Now I can't reach here. If your arm's not extended enough, that could be part of the problem. We gotta reach nice and tall and rotate through that shoulder. Then we're gonna thread through and hug into our armpit and come up. So you can feel this nice tension here, okay? Let's reverse it. When we come out, we hit that twisted grip again and roll around. All right, so let's try one more time on this side. Grab, pinky tip, pinky grabs first. Pinky grabs and twists around the fabric. Same hand as the wrapped leg, glides. Just glides right through. Lean forward, drop the chest, let the hand slide, and hug into the armpit. And then unwind. Okay, so let's try that on the other side. Gonna wrap the foot, stand on it, create some tension. I almost always do twisty grip with my left hand. And so right hand will feel a little bit different to me because I'm not always training stuff on both sides like I should. So opposite hand as wrapped leg is going to grab with the pinky tip first. It hits, so you can think about, rather than putting it on the inside, you can think about touching the back of your hand to it, if that makes more sense. Palm faces out, back of the hand touches the silk, slide it up, grab with that pinky tip. Same hand as the wrapped leg, glides through, slide down, pop into the armpit. Okay, and then unwind, 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 untwist. You might be feeling it already. I'm already feeling this in my wrist. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, it does take some wrist, it takes some wrist flexibility and strength for this grip. So be patient with yourself as you learn it. So let's do it one more time on this side. Back of the hand, pinky, grabs and twists, index finger comes to grip last. I do touch my thumb to my index finger. I want to feel like I'm holding, like they're connected for a good strong grip. Same hand threads through. Sink down, pop into the shoulder. Good, and then we're just gonna unwind, back through twisted grip. Okay, so who's ready to take this to the air? We're gonna come into our foot locks. I'm just gonna do standard foot locks. Okay. So for our twisted grip, we're gonna do one split roll up. Let me know if you need help with split roll up. And then we're gonna come to our twisted grip. So what happens? Opposite hand, top of the hand, twist through the pinky finger, same hand comes off, glides through, sit up, hook into my armpit. Okay? And then we're gonna step this leg through to our butterfly. And we're gonna come out, twisted grip, unwind. Let's try our other side. Left leg's in front, right leg, right hand comes up, twisted grip, top of the hand, pinky tip rolls. Reach through, lean down, armpit. And then unwind. I didn't do the split roll up, so let's do that part. Step through, butterfly. Okay. All right, so since we're here in the butterfly, we're gonna work it. This is gonna combine a lot of the things. It's kind of a hard position to hold. This is gonna combine a lot of the things that we've been working on the last couple of days. So lifting through the legs, holding that straddle in the hip key, doing our inverts yesterday, touching knees to elbows. All of these concepts apply to our butterfly. So when we swoop our legs behind and we come into the X, I'm gonna think about lifting. This is the first place I need to get to. I'm really engaged here. Now, once I get my feet higher than my hips, I can push back. Then I'm gonna rock up. Now, when I rock up, this is a great place to practice the negatives. Careful though that it doesn't overstretch your straddle. A lot of times when we invert, the straddle gets pulled wider than we're used to. So let's unroll. Okay. I'm gonna see if anyone has any questions. And get some water. Hi, any questions? Let me know. Just drop them in the comments section. Or if there's something that you'd really love to see, let me know too. We're almost at time. So we're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna work butterfly one more time, and then we'll do a not drop walk down. Okay, so let's get our foot locks on. We'll go through twisted grip. So I'm gonna get one split roll up, twisted grip, opposite hand grabs, reach through, narrow the stance, tuck into the armpit, step the leg through. So butterfly. See how I'm really arched right here? I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna come into nice tight abs, okay? So I'm gonna engage my abs. I'm gonna lift through my legs, hip, push back through my arms, and come into the butterfly. And then work my negatives. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna try and hit the part that's the hardest, about to hear. Push back. Out. Push back. It's usually at a point where you can really work it without being all the way down again. And then we'll come out. Good. Okay. Great, great job if you're following along. And I'm gonna put the knot in now for a not drop walk down. Hi, Anne. Where are you from? Thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for watching. Are you on a silk right now or are you watching for later? Let me know. Okay, so for our not drop walk downs, we're gonna focus on our control coming out of the motion. Let me know if you've done any knot drops before. This is just going to be our most basic one. So I'm going to invert up. Here we go, practicing that invert. Crochet both the legs, 1, 2, bend, bend. I want to think about pulling my heels to my butt here. That's going to make my sitting up much easier. Reach my hands up nice and high and shoot up. Okay? Now I'm going to pass the tail out of my way because I don't want to hit myself in the face with it. Now I'm going to put both my hands on one pole, or I can just do one hand. Same hand as the leg that, well, we don't want to cross is what I'm saying. Same side. Then I'm going to lean out and bend to come down. Straddle, straddle, and sit up. Now here's the thing with the knot, putting it here. We have a catch. So when I sit up, it stops me from falling out. So if you want that out of the way before you come up, just pop it. Oopsies. And then bring it through. So this time, let me make sure you don't have any questions. Okay, this time, we're gonna drop, but just with a little bit more control. We wanna try to stall the motion. Up. Crochet, crochet, bend, bend. Up. So when I drop, I want to think about, hiking at the bottom so that I can almost walk over my legs out, okay? So I'm gonna think about stopping. So I'm really tight, and I wanna think about pulling my legs towards my face. And then I can walk over out, okay? I'm gonna step out this way too. Either way, this tail is kind of a pain if you have the break, but the alternative is you get hit in the face with it. So let me know if you give those a try. Oh, cool, from Germany. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I'm working on getting my shipping to go to Germany. I should have it figured out in a couple weeks. So I really appreciate you being here. Let me know if you'd like to learn something else during one of the lives. I really am having so much fun doing this. This is why I'm going over. But I want to do more of these. And so I'd love to hear what you all want to learn and take with you to Open Gym when you do train. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to sign off for now. But if you haven't been through the library of content, I think there's like 35 tutorials in there on lots of different things. So use that resource, and I'm always available for feedback along the way. So thank you so much for being here at the live, and I will see you all soon.